Hello class, so I've decided to make the following video to help some of you who are trying to show me the work that you're doing for your homework using a Google Doc. So I've noticed that, sometimes the work that some of you have turned in, it looks fine, sometimes not so much. But if you are willing to spend a little bit of time to learn how to format the work using equations in a Google Doc, then this is the video for you. So feel free to ignore this video entirely if you're not interested, but if you are, keep watching. So I will go over how to use the insert equation menu so that you can go ahead and enter equation. So I am going to show you how to enter equations by doing an example here with a right triangle, which means that this involves the Pythagorean theorem, for which we need to go ahead and use squares and the radical symbol to find the square roots. So the first thing is that for the Pythagorean theorem, we have something like this: a square plus b square equals c square. Okay, so that is the sort of statement that I want to change into a mathematical equation by replacing some of those things with variables and with some symbols. Now, first thing, the equation menu is up here, so you need to go to insert, you need to go down to equation, and you will know that you're ready to enter an equation because you will see this blue box here. Okay, let me bring this up. Okay, so I'll do this one more time. So you want to go ahead and go to insert, down to equation, and then you will see that blue box that indicates that you are ready to type your equation. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and do this down here. So I'll make a new line. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make the translation. Okay, so insert equation. So instead of saying a square, so I want to type a. Now I need to enter the exponent 2. So I need to go up to all of the symbols that I have over here. So notice that here you have Greek letters, you have operations, you have relations, math operations, and arrows. So we want to go to math operations, and then to the far right, we're going to see an X, and then it has a B right above it. So that is the exponent. So I want to click on that one, and then nothing really happens here, but the way that you're going to access the location for the exponent would be by pressing the right arrow key on your keyboard. Notice that it went up to the location of the exponent. So I'll go ahead and click the left arrow key, and it's going to bring me down. So right arrow key is going to bring me up there to the location of the exponent. So I'll go ahead and type 2. Now, once I'm done typing the exponent, I want to go ahead and once again press the right arrow key on the keyboard, and that's going to bring me back down. So plus, enter plus, b square, same thing, press B, go up to math operations, exponent, right arrow key, type a 2, right arrow key to bring you back down, equals c squared. So c, I need the square, so back to math operations, exponent, right arrow key, type a 2, and you're done. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. Now anytime you're done entering an equation, go ahead and click somewhere outside that box. You will no longer see it. Okay, so that's because you're no longer in that equation. So if I click somewhere inside, then that blue box is going to reappear. Okay, so now we're ready to go ahead and enter the next line. So I'll go ahead and hit enter. Now let's go ahead and figure out what we have to do. So I go ahead and state the Pythagorean theorem. I notice that for the triangle that I'm given, across from the 90-degree angle, that would be the hypotenuse. So that means that 11 would be letter C. That makes 8 one of the legs. Let's just go ahead and say that 8 is going to be the letter A. So come down here, instead of a, I want to go ahead and type 8, and that needs to be square. So let's go ahead and enter a new equation, type 8, and then go up to math operations, exponent, press the right arrow key on the keyboard, 2, that makes the exponent, right arrow key once again to come back down, plus b squared, we're not going to replace with anything, that is unknown, so b, go up to math operations, exponent, right arrow key, exponent 2, right arrow key to come back down, equals. Now c, I need to replace it with 11, so 11, and I need the exponent 2 for the square. So math operations, exponent, right arrow key, and 2. Click outside. So there you have it. We have made the substitutions for A and for C. Now we need to go ahead and type what the next line should look like. So the next thing would be to simplify the 8 square and the 11 square. So what is 8 square? Okay, so let's go ahead and press new equation. And 8 square would be 64 plus b squared is going to remain the same. So b, math operation, exponent, right arrow key, 2, right arrow key, equals 11 squared, that's going to be 121. Now click outside of the equation and make a new line, hit enter. So after this, I'm supposed to go ahead and solve for b squared. Okay, so I need to show that I'm going to take 121 and I need to subtract 64 from it. So new equation, subtract 64. I'm going to make a bunch of spaces so that now this takes me to the right side of my equal sign, and type the same thing. So this would be a way for you to show that you are either adding or subtracting, or if you need to divide something, then you can always use the division or the multiplication symbol, whatever it is that you need to do. Another line. Now let's go ahead and show what we would need to see for the next part, which is 64 minus 64. That's going to be 0. So the only thing that I should have on the left side would be the b squared. So let's go ahead and make a new equation. B, I need the exponent. So math operations, exponent, right arrow key, the 2 for square, right arrow key to come back down, equals 121 minus 64 is going to be 57. 57. Go ahead and click outside of that equation, make a new line. Next thing is for us to show that we're going to take the square root of both the left and the right side. So let's go ahead and make a new equation, and let's go ahead and show the square root. So math operations, the square root symbol is going to be the second one from the left. So the square root of x, press it, you will see the symbol right away. So go ahead and put in b squared. So b, math operations, exponent, right arrow key, and a 2, and that's going to make it square. So let's go ahead and press the right arrow key once again, equals. Now notice what happened here. The equal sign still inside that radical. I do not want that. Okay, that should be separate. So let's go ahead and delete it. So in order to get outside of the radical, I need to go ahead and once again press the right arrow key on the keyboard. Notice how that cursor became a lot bigger. So that's a sign that I am outside of the radical. So left arrow key, I'm back inside. Right arrow key, I am outside the radical. If I press the equal sign, it is no longer inside the radical. Okay, that's what I want. Next, the square root of 57. So square root of 57. Click outside. I need a new line, which would be the very last one, where I am showing that all I have on the left side is the letter b. So new equation, b equals. Here we're supposed to leave it as it is. Okay, 57 is not a perfect square, so the answer is going to be the square root. So math operations, square root 57, and click outside. Now, I could also, if I wanted to, say or math equation b and give the approximation, okay? Because when you take the square root of 57, you're gonna notice that you get a decimal. So you can always grab the calculator and tell me b is going to be approximately. Now you need to go to relations, and then first column, third row, that's going to be your symbol for approximation, and you can tell me this would be about 7.5 units. Okay, so either way, it's going to be fine. So this is just a way for you to, again, to try to format the work that we're doing right now, which is, something similar to what we did last time for the Pythagorean theorem. And this week too, we're going to go ahead and keep working with squares and square roots. So if you want to go ahead and practice this, learn how to use this, might be helpful later on, definitely take the time. So let me know if you have any questions about this, how to do any of these things, but definitely explore, again, the different operations that we have, different symbols, again, the fractions, and whatever else that you might see, just to play around with this. But definitely make it look the way that you would, make it look on a piece of paper. So if you want to add like more spaces, say over here on this line over here, so that all of the equal signs are aligned, then, just to make it look a lot better, something like that. Okay, so anyways, let me know if you have any questions.